talks of children being affected by COVID in the third wave have emerged, and even doctors, top doctors, are in fact, going on to say that children would be the most vulnerable in the third wave of COVID. But having said that, a concerning trend over here in the state of Karnataka is pediatric mucormycosis, or children contracting the black fungus. In the state of Karnataka, we understand that there are about 2 confirmed cases and about 2 to 3 possible cases as well. Joining me is Dr. Sujata Rathod from the Minto Eye Hospital over here in Bengaluru. Doctor, I'd like to start by asking you, there are 2 confirmed cases you've said, and possibly a few more as well that would be detected in the coming days.
Yes.
Is this a cause of concern, or have you seen this before in children, mucormycosis, or what are we to differ from this?
In my 30 years of experience, of course, I have not seen corona or COVID, and mucormycosis not in children. I have not seen. We do expect it in juvenile diabetics or in children having cancer or any of the ones who are immunosuppressed. There's never been in a healthy child, as we have seen.
Okay.
So now, of course, it's a cause of concern, because we know that our numbers of COVID are coming down, but unfortunately, COVID-associated mucormycosis case have been on the rise in the last 1.5 months. That we were seeing in adults.
Okay.
Yes, I think the third wave has already stuck, and we have in Karnataka almost 45,000 children being affected.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 3 days, in our own government setup in the Bangalore Medical College and Bowring, we have had 2 pediatric mucormycosis.
Okay.
Not from Bangalore, of course. They are from our districts of Chitradurga and Bellary.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I would say it would be a matter of concern, just as we are seeing the adult mucormycosis.
Okay. Now, doctor, one thing you said is that, in children who have a juvenile, diabetic history, or possibly, so in these 2 children that you are seeing, 2 questions I'd like to ask you. First, had both of them recovered from COVID-19? And second being, did they have any history of diabetes like you mentioned?
Yeah, I think to answer your question whether both were COVID, going by scientific evidence, that is COVID antibodies and RT-PCR being positive, we had COVID positive antibodies in the first child who did not have any history. He or his parents never gave any history of being stuck with COVID. But unfortunately, once the symptoms of mucormycosis started, he was brought from Chitradurga to Mysore, and from there referred here with involvement of the brain.
Okay.
So it was rhino-orbital cerebral mucormycosis. And when tests were done, his diabetic levels were very high, and his HbA1c, what we say of the average 3-month glucose, showed to be about at the range of 14, which is extremely high. So either the child was an unknown diabetic and they did not know about it, and after having suffered COVID, because the antibodies say so, which probably was a mild case. So that would say that yes, diabetic levels have been seen in that child. In the other child, it was a clear case of COVID, a child being affected by COVID and was treated in the WIMS Bellary, and was a juvenile diabetic. So both have a background where on all our tests show that they have been diabetic in the recent past.
Okay. Now, of the little information that we do have of mucormycosis and its connection with COVID as well, these 2 children, the way you see them, could it be, at least in one of the children who had tested positive for COVID-19, could it be the usage of steroids that could have caused the mucormycosis? And also in the other child, could it have been the new variant that we're looking at? Or what would, right now from your understanding of these 2 cases, be the cause of mucormycosis in
I
the
think
children?
the first child, as I told, there was no clear history of any sort of treatment for COVID, because the child did not know. So there is a very clear-cut thing that no steroids were used, unfortunately having a diabetic background. But the second child was admitted for COVID, has undergone oxygen therapy for few days, but there is no document of having used steroids. So in both the cases, as I mentioned, see, mucormycosis is not new, but COVID associated mucormycosis is new, considering that immunosuppression is the common baseline. So these 2 children, having been diabetic or detected diabetic, added to the COVID stated immunosuppression, may be the cause for this fungus to have attacked them.
Okay. And lastly, before I let you go, we're seeing, like you said, that both of these children, come from possibly a slightly economically weak background. There are many who lack awareness of what needs to be done when, someone has even the slightest symptoms of mucormycosis. For general awareness, if you can just quickly brief us on how the early detection should be done by parents, and what can be done so that it doesn't reach a stage where the child has to be operated upon, or where the child loses vision. Like you said, in this case also, it had already started to affect the brain.
Yes. Yeah, well, as all of us know, the COVID status itself creates a phase of immunosuppression. In a state of immunosuppression, a diabetic state would further add on to it, and so the mucor, which is found to be in the air or in the soil, wet soil, contaminated soil, and in dead and decaying food, and of course in animal excreta. If all these are when we tell our rural background, all this is possible. And so I would say that any COVID recovered child or COVID recovered adult also should be aware that they should not go to such places. You allow children to play in we do allow them to play in mud, and so see that they are not allowed to play in such sort of a contaminated soil or animal excreta, such stuff, I mean cow dung and places, because mucors are present there, the spores are present there, and it's easy for them to inhale it. And the earliest signs would be like a very, very small level of sinusitis, sort of a nasal block, a nasal discharge, which is a dirty sort of discharge. So do not ignore such early symptom, or a loose tooth, a pain in the tooth, or black spots in the upper part, that is in a palate, what we say, and any mild sinusitis pain. I mean, I should say that the pain will not be mild, it will be severe. So do not ignore anything. The eye coming forward, or eye movements being restricted, the lid coming down, which we call ptosis, any sort of, or suddenly the child losing vision. I think when a child loses vision, it's already progressing rapidly. But since this is a rapidly progressing, opportunistic, fatal thing, look at the very, very subtle signs. Even let it be a normal sinusitis, you will be better off by going and taking to your physician and getting a report that it's not so, rather than allowing it to progress. Right. So I think my message would be, one is, yes, please take care of your children, give them healthy, nutritious food. Do not go for any major advertised immunoboosters. I would not say that we do not have any clear-cut, evidence that they are really helpful. Instead, good nutritious food and stay away. I mean, personal hygiene is one most important thing. Let them keep their noses and throat and all clean by a simple saltwater gargle and cleaning their nails, and maintain hygiene, not to go into dirty environmental places. And if you must go to construction sites, if you have to take your child, see that they are also adequately protected by wearing a mask, gloves, and long boots to cover, which is not true for us country, but I think they should be protected. That's all I would say.
Thank you, Doctor.
And one more last thing, please check if for any COVID, be it an adult or a young child, just one baseline sugar, so that you understand that corona affects the pancreas and unfortunately does have a say in alteration of insulin and glucose within the body. So I think a baseline sugar for be it an adult or child would go a long way in trying to see whether that can become an added feature in mucormycosis.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
So better late than sorry. It's important for everyone who's recovered from COVID-19, children especially, to monitor these signs early, and early detection could possibly help before it reaches a critical stage. You heard it from the doctor. Let's all be a little bit more careful and aware of our surroundings, as even though the cases are decreasing, we are still in the midst of this pandemic. In Bengaluru with video journalist Nagendra, this is Neha Hebale for Mirror Now.